As an employer, what do you need to prove for labour market testing? This is important for anyone looking to sponsor a skilled worker in Australia. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby from Migration Centre of Australia. If you're a sponsor looking to sponsor a skilled migrant or skilled worker in your company, there's one thing you must have heard of: labour market testing, also known as LMT. LMT is a key requirement for when you lodge a nomination application, and you must start preparing for this at least a month in advance before you're planning to lodge the nomination. And without the nomination, a visa cannot be lodged. So, what do you need to do? LMT is a requirement where you have to demonstrate that you've tried to hire a local person in Australia, which means an Australian citizen, permanent resident, or an eligible New Zealand citizen. If after all of that, you're still unable to find a skilled worker suitable for the role in your company, then you can go ahead and sponsor a person that is on a visa of another type, a temporary visa, or they could even be located outside Australia when you're lodging the nomination as well. It's one of the most common reasons where a silly mistake on how the LMT is carried out can cost you thousands of dollars because it's refused on not meeting the criteria. So, how do you demonstrate this? What if you've already got a worker in your company? What's even the point of carrying out the LMT process? The department doesn't care who you're currently hiring. Whether it's an existing position or it's a new position within the company, what they really care about is the fact that if you want to sponsor someone that doesn't have a permanent resident or an Australian citizenship or isn't an eligible New Zealand citizen, you have to prove to them that you were not able to find a skilled candidate in your local market where you've advertised. Now, we'll also talk about later on how you need to carry out this advertisement, but this process must be done for pretty much every candidate. There are certain exemptions to the LMT criteria. Now, some of these exemptions include if there's international trade obligations, so that means the person that you're looking to nominate has a passport from a specific country, like the UK, for example, they would be exempt from LMT. Now, the LMT is mandatory for the subclass 482 and the subclass 494 visa, both temporary employer-sponsored visas that can lead to permanent residency down the track. The Department of Home Affairs does consider and does check the labour market testing report that you do submit. You still need to justify that even from the people that applied for that role that you advertised to try and recruit locally, you were not able to find a suitable candidate. When employers carry out the LMT, or whether it's taken on by another recruitment agency that you've outsourced the work to, it still needs to meet the criteria. It's not just about running an ad or 2 or 3 or 4, it's about ensuring that even from the people that apply, whether it's 10 people, whether it's 300 or 400 people, you've gone through and screened the candidates and justified why they were not eligible. We make sure that as part of our responsibilities as consultants, we advise all employers to conduct that LMT check in a very thorough manner, because if there is any discrepancy, that's a simple reason for refusal that you're providing to the officer at the department. So let's talk about the LMT requirements. Firstly, you should advertise on 2 platforms. The platforms should be of national reach. You can sometimes advertise on the same platform, but back to back. So you run an ad for 28 days minimum, and then you're running another ad for 28 days. Usually what this means is you're taking a longer period. It takes 2 months to then carry out those ads, whereas you could advertise on 2 different platforms at the same time for at least 28 days to meet the requirements. Some platforms allow you to advertise for sometimes 14 days or 1 week at a time. Please make sure that there is an overlap on at least 1 day before it ends. Because if there's an overlap, we can count that it's an ongoing ad. If, for example, your ad is expired on 14th of February and the next ad is placed on 15th of February, that may not meet the requirements because it wasn't running continuously the entire time. There may have been a gap even for a few hours, which would deem it not valid for the purposes of carrying out the LMT. So you should have advertised on the 14th of February to meet the requirements and make sure that it's running for at least 28 days or more. Now you can place these on Seek, Indeed, Jura, Ajura, Career One, LinkedIn, but not places like Facebook or Gumtree or even your own website unless you are an accredited sponsor. Now, if you don't know what an accredited sponsor is, it probably means you're not approved as an accredited sponsor already. So make sure you check if you are or not. It'll mention it on your sponsorship approval. All job ads need to be placed in English. They should include the job title, the remuneration, if the applicant's going to be paid less than $96,400. If you're going to offer a salary of greater than $96,400 to any of the applicants, then you need to either advertise the salary range, you can do that as well, but also you don't need to advertise the salary itself if the minimum base salary is going to be $96,400 plus. Then you need to talk about the location, the duties and responsibilities, the qualification and experience required to obtain this role, and the name of the employer. Now, once you have all of these, make sure the ad is running for at least 28 days. Now, how do you evidence this? When it comes to the evidence, you can take a screenshot of your platform at the back end as an employer where you're placing the ads, which will show you how many applicants have applied, when you posted the ad, how long it was running, whether you spent money on it, so evidence of paying for the ad. And then we also get you to take a screenshot of the entire ad when it was placed. So you have the back end showing the data, you have the front end showing the ad that was placed, and it'll have the start date to end date as well in the back end. So when it comes to a national reach in terms of platform for the labor market testing, what does that mean and what does that include? So we mentioned some key websites that you can use, including Workforce Australia is another one that you can add to that list. So that's the national job boards. Then there's industry job sites and print media or even radio. Obviously, print media and national job boards are going to be the easiest ones to demonstrate and use that as evidence. So I've got a list of countries here that I'm going to mention for the ones that are exempt under the international trade obligations. Now there's multiple LMT exemptions. We're just specifically mentioning the ones, if the nominee that you're looking to nominate is from a country with one of these passports that I'm mentioning, then they would be exempt and you don't necessarily need to carry out the labor market testing process. But make sure you consult someone and get the right advice. So this includes Brunei, China, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, Peru, Thailand, Vietnam, Canada, Chile, South Korea, New Zealand, Singapore, and United Kingdom. So there's quite a few Asian countries mentioned within, which most people don't know about. So let's talk about the common mistakes that people make. The first one is advertising for less than 4 weeks and not the entire 28-day period. Secondly, you need to understand that LMTs do expire as well. So just because you've carried out an ad in the past, but it needs to be within the last 4 months, and recount the 4 months from the day that you advertise. So for example, if you advertised on 1st of February, that's when we start the first date of the ad, just to be safe, even if the ad is running for 30 days, right? And the end of the LMT period would be 4 months from the 1st of Feb, the date that you placed the ad. So that means on 28th May, or even potentially 30th May, because the ad was running for 28 days, that'll be the end of that 4-month period. So you need to place another ad to then meet the requirements. And that ad you should place in May if you're planning to lodge in June, because the one from Feb would have expired. So labor market testing is a key requirement for the time of application for a 482 or 494 nomination application. I hope that answers all your questions, but if you have anything that you need to know, please reach out to your consultant or leave a comment below and we'll get back to you.